Hey there, Gemini. I hope you're having a wonderful week so far, a wonderful start to your week. As you can tell by my environment here, I'm in a different environment than I usually am. I'm actually out at a park in a nice little tree grove next to a dog park, okay? So I feel like very connected here, got my feet on the ground in the grass, nice picnic tables all around. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a message for you here. We're going to start with the personal values deck. Get 3 of those to sort of see what the main energies and the main focus of this reading is. What I find very interesting is there is now a police officer parked 100 feet away, listening and watching. Because wouldn't that just be perfect? Isn't that just what needs to happen in Hudson County? I don't know why I felt called to say that, but let's go ahead and clear those energies out. No shade here, right? Actually, quite the opposite. As I started this message, I noticed that the sun was starting to break through the clouds and that it was getting a little bit warmer. So hopefully that is the progression or the track that we go on, okay? So let's go ahead and see the strongest energies for Gemini, please, for the week ahead. Strongest energies for Gemini. Whoa, okay, I'm not going to take that because it didn't pop, but innovation. And I just saw tradition. It's a challenging tradition. Equality, okay. Adventure. For Gemini, please. For Gemini. Oh. And service. Wow, that's crazy. I can't not acknowledge that. So this is the 4th reading that I've done today. No, 3rd reading that I've done today. And every single one so far has had environment come out in some way, shape, or form. Okay? Not come out, but at least be visible. Let's go ahead and get a little bit more information. Yeah, so what's funny is as soon as I noticed this, wow, weird. So look at the similarity here. We have flexibility with willow spirit and purification with pine spirit. Both trees, right? But both of these cards have a sort of fairy floating energy to them. And it's almost like this is... Hold on, I'm going to flip these over. It's almost like the flexibility spirit fairy is the ghost of the purification fairy, if that makes any sense. What's also interesting about that is, and these cards didn't even come out, it was just on the split, I'm noticing the similarities. Willows, there's something about death in willows that I remember reading. So there's something about this sort of ephemeral flowing energy that's required, as well as a purification that needs to take place, okay? Not going to read too far into that, but it's just stuck out. Very strong. For Gemini, please. For Gemini. What is this equality, service, and adventure energies we have? For Gemini, for the week ahead, please. That's way too many. For Gemini. Truth and clarity, please. Trust. Lack of trust. That felt very strong, which might lead to an ending, okay? An unequal situation of some sort, where there is a lack of trust, might lead to an ending. Sorry, I don't want to shake the table. Apologies. For Gemini, please. Strongest energies. Truth and clarity. Whoa. Okay. Again, we have new beginnings. And then love. 2nd or 3rd time new beginnings has come out with love. I already sort of see where this is going, but I'm going to go ahead and clarify a little bit more. Because I am out in the woods today, I guess you could say, I've chosen the Sacred Forest deck and the Woodland Wardens. So let's go ahead and clarify with the Woodland Wardens. But what I started to say, and maybe I was supposed to not say it, and maybe I was supposed to sort of get distracted from it, was as soon as this authoritative presence came over and began watching and being nosy is when the dog started to bark, is when the energy started to shift towards a not great direction. So I find that interesting. You might be challenging authority in some way. Or there might be some sort of inequality with authority in some way. I'm not going to paint that onto this reading, but I'm going to tell you the energies that I get, right? For Gemini, please. Clarifying trust. Wow, purification again. Even though purification didn't come out in the previous deck, it wanted to be shown. So there's something about the need for purification, trust, a lack of trust. Maybe it's purifying the truth, or purifying like where there might have been like a dirty, not dirty, but like unclear energy. New beginnings, please. For Gemini, what? Clarify new beginnings. So wisdom turned over, but I'm not going to take it because new beginnings, an ending, and communication. A lack of communication causes an ending, and with all endings, a new beginning. Okay? This might be in love. Trust in the invisible. I'm getting bitten by bugs. Yeah. Okay. Let me just read these energies a little bit further before I tell you the message. Yeah, so what I'm really getting from this strongly, there is a lack of trust in some sort of relationship. This might have to be with, or have to do with a loved one of some sort. The lack of trust came from this person's ego or came from your ego. And what I understand from this is there was sort of like a blinding of the truth as opposed to a revealing of the truth. And the only way that, not the only way, but the recommended way to sort of approach this issue is to sort of put the ego down, try to rebuild that trust by purifying the situation, by cleansing what might be unclear in it. And what's interesting is when this card first came out, it's the trout and the lily of the valley. Lily of the valley is often associated with funerals and with death because of its scent. It was often used in, what's it called, like funeral arrangements because of its light, uplifting scent. But what's interesting about Lily of the Valley is it really only grows during a specific time of the year. And so what I get from that is it's the time is now to sort of clarify and purify wherever there was mistrust, wherever there was too much ego in a situation, wherever somebody, what I'm getting from this crystal cave, wherever somebody sort of hermited themselves away to seek the truth, they might have actually closed themselves off from the truth. And there's a need to rebalance and bring equality back to this situation, bring real truth back to the situation, bring trust into the situation so that the cycle itself can sort of come to a completion. And come to a completion it will, because in order for something new to begin, there often needs to be an ending. And it's interesting that Lily of the Valley would sort of preface the moth and the eucalyptus literally speaking about an ending. Okay, but what I got from this is the way that it came out was this ending is coming about because of a lack in communication or a breakdown in communication. Again, having to do with the ego. And what sort of pointed the ego out to me in the first card is we have this little peacock over here in the corner. But again, we have this rooster who sits on top of, in the cartoon version of a rooster, sits on top of a building and is calling out with his confidence and cries, whatever that's called, the noise that the rooster makes. But it feels like there was communication that was suppressed. There was communication that was held back. interesting that I'm getting. It was surrounding actually a new opportunity. So Gemini, this ending that's taking place might actually be taking place between you and another person, or you or a group of people, because something that was supposed to be communicated to you wasn't. Something that would have brought you happiness with the sunflower, some good news that would have come in and brightened things up for you. Again, even with the daffodil, right? Something that would have given you life and uplifted your spirits. That communication never came in. That new adventure never came in, and it actually did you a disservice. And for that, and with the truth being revealed with the moth, with the mystery sort of going away, it caused or will cause an ending of some sort. But I find it incredibly interesting that these cards came out to clarify the new beginning. So you might actually already be in these energies of a new beginning. You might already be in this light and bright solar plexus chakra, joyful energy, looking for the new adventure for you to fly on, right? For you to go explore. Oh wow, that came through really very, very clear. So I was wondering why service was here. And what I understand from this is the ending, right? What you let go of to make space for this new beginning is actually bringing in a divine love. It's bringing in a stronger connection to the invisible, a stronger connection to the divine, a stronger level of protection from the divine to sort of shield you and comfort you and make you, wow, I'm getting two strong messages, make you aware and re-inspire you to know and have an inner knowing that the divine is of service to you. The divine has unconditional love for you and unconditional protection for you. But the other side of the message that I get from this is actually that part of your, I don't want to say reason for being, but part of your, what you're meant to learn and take away from whatever this ending and new beginning situation is how you can be of service to other people by spreading this divine love. By truly embracing yourself, embracing. You might have psychic gifts. You might be an artist in some way. You might be a songwriter. But there's something about creative expression and going down not the path of least resistance, but the path of most excitement for you. The path that sparks joy and love in your heart. Chasing that. Seeing the adventure in that. Because it's part of how you are to be of service to humanity, or be of service to those around you, sort of by leading by example and living in your truth, living in this loving energy. The divine is supporting you to do that because you're actually in some way, shape, or form supporting their mission to spread more love and to be an example of love. There's a certain sweetness to this. There's a sweetness to it because it had to come from something sour, some opportunity that you were supposed to be granted to allow you to go on this adventure, to have autonomy in this adventure, didn't arrive, which is sour. But because you, Gemini, are able to transmute this in some way and to allow this new beginning to come in, it's like the divine wants to be of service to you, wants to guide you through it, and wants to make sure that you can maintain living in this sweet, wild rose, loving energy. Very beautiful message. Okay. You know what's interesting? This is the first spread I feel called to pull an animal card for you. So obviously we have a bunch of animals out on the table already. We have the trout, the moth, the rooster, and the snail. But I wasn't getting a very clear sort of piece of advice that you can take besides leaning into and trusting the invisible, besides allowing this change to take place, right? besides trying to sort of wipe the slate clean, wipe the dust from the window so that you can see the situation for what it really is. But I wanted one or two phrases, pieces of advice, energies or perspectives that you can sit in to overcome this situation. Or not even overcome it, but move through it with the least amount of resistance. Okay? Bring a gentle touch with dear spirit. Okay? Yeah. So there's something about, there isn't a need for this ending to be something that's like big and makes a lot of noise and is distracting, like the planes and the cars flying by. It's almost like you need to walk quietly, move gently through whatever this transition period is, through whatever this change is, and bring a gentle touch to it. And what I get from that is not just a gentle touch for the people that are involved in this situation, but more so a gentle touch for you, for yourself, to have forgiveness for yourself, to have forgiveness for maybe not seeing something clearly, to have forgiveness for how long of a process this might be or might have been. Maybe what I'm also getting from this is maybe you held back communication in whatever the situation was because you knew that there was something also being held back from you, and to be easy on yourself in that, to not judge yourself so harshly, and to be gentle with not only how you react to other people, but how you are reacting to yourself in this situation. Okay, Gemini? Yeah, it feels like a situation where this and that are true. Okay? There's the black and there's the white, but then there's also a very large gray area. And you're being encouraged to sort of stick down the middle path of that gray area and not lean too far into the dark or lean too far into the light. Okay? I'm feeling called to end your message there, especially with this plane flying above. If you found this message helpful, please do give it a like or comment below. I will be uploading this on YouTube, so if you're watching it there and you found it helpful and you'd like to be in the know for future messages, please do give us a subscribe as well. Okay, this is where we part. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week. Take care, Gemini.